Hi everyone, I'm Diana, and thank you for tuning in to RCCG's Discovery Centre, where we discuss all issues affecting young people. Today, I want to touch on a topic that affects all of us: anxiety. Firstly, what is anxiety?
Anxiety is a feeling of fear we get when we are worried about something. This could be something that happened in the past or something that is yet to happen. Today's video will focus on the latter. Many of us have fears about the future and its unknowns, which makes it difficult to enjoy our present. In psychology, the practice of mindfulness encourages people back to their present moment by getting them to focus on the here and now using their 5 senses.
This idea is complementary with spiritual teachings because being grounded in the present moment is something God encourages as well.
In Matthew chapter 6 verse 34, we are told, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today."
You may have heard similar phrases like take life one day at a time or take life as it comes. These are very wise words.
But I know what you're probably thinking. It is all well and good to know about these things, but how exactly do we put them into practice? Well, one of the most important spiritual concepts is essentially the opposite of anxiety, and that's faith.
Faith is about letting go of all fear and putting total trust in God. But just as it takes time to get to know and trust people, it takes time to get to know and trust God.
That's where reading the Bible and studying the scriptures becomes key. Once we know Him, we know His true intentions for us, as outlined, for example, in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." This reassuring passage can go a long way to comfort us when fearing about the future, as it reminds us that God ultimately has positive plans for us to prosper.
Another thing that compounds our fear of the future is the certainty in which we express those beliefs. When we are panicked, we become so sure and convinced that we are right, that we build a wall around all rational thinking. That is, we become stubborn and opposed to all other beliefs that challenge our ones.
In James chapter 4 verse 14, God says, "How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow?" This ought to remind us of our limitations and poke some holes in our theories about the future. We must humble ourselves and acknowledge we don't have all the answers.
I want to end this video by reflecting on Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, which says,
Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Praying is one of the main ways we can show God our faithfulness. So rather than filling our mind with worries, let's fill them with prayers. Every time a worrisome thought enters our mind, let's convert it into a prayer point. For example, if you are worried about your finances, rather than saying negative things to yourself, say positive things to God. Rather than thinking, "I can't," pray, "God can," and thank Him knowing with full confidence that He will come through for you.
Thank you all so much for tuning into this video. If you want to know more about anxiety and similar topics, be sure to tune in for our next one. I want to pray now for all those watching to be freed from anxious thoughts of the future and instead be filled with the love and peace that God provides. I pray this in Jesus' precious name. God bless you all. Amen.